ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम Mandalam 9, Suktam 15, Asita Kashyapa Rishi, Devata Pavamana Soma, Chandas Gayatri. Eshadhiyayatyanvya Shuru Rathebhirashubhi. 15.1. This hero, Atmiya Soma, made ready with intelligence of wise sages, going through the hole in the sea, move with the fast-moving vehicles of Indra. Vehicles of Indra are bodies of living creatures. Each drop of essence of Atma becomes witnessing self in the living creature's body. With reference to human mind, the sieve is ignorance cloud, which is said to be grey colored and woolly, having interspaces. 9.15.2. Esha Purudhiyayate. Where this one joins with many intelligent men, there immortal beings are present for distribution of wealth to these shining beings. Enlightened sages assign drops of flowing essence of Atma to resplendent beings like Adityas, Rudras, Vasus, etc. They assemble in knowledge sacrifices of truth seekers. Esha hito viniyate. When this one placed within the heart space leads the active men along spotless path, then they become strong. Guided by the Soma drop, witnessing self, within their hearts, seekers of truth gain spiritual strength. Spotless or faultless path is from diversity to oneness state. 15.4. Esha Sringani Dodhuvat. Like a bull head of a herd of cows, upholding courage with his own power, shakes its sharp horns. This one, Soma, shakes the mountain top. This Sruk and the next Sruk comment. Essence of Atmiya Soma pervades the sun and the waters, or he lords over the earth, the sun and the waters. This is the gist of these Sruks. Symbolically, Soma shakes Ahambhava, which is the top or head of the mountain-like ignorance. Esha Rukmi Bhiriyate. 15.5. This heroic one moves with spotless golden sunbeams. He becomes the lord of flowing water streams. Atmiya Somadharas, carrying spiritual light energy, quanta, becomes the soul of all flowing streams. That is the implied meaning. 15.6. Esha Vasuni Pibdana Parusha. This one, Atmiya Soma, hastening beyond the variegated, firm-looking objects, namely clouds, goes down among the flowing waters. Soma causes the appearance of air and water particles in the atmosphere. Moving air or wind moves the clouds, producing rain. This atmosphere is necessary for sustaining life on the earth. 15.7. Edam marjanti martyam upadroneshvayava Men purify within the containers this to be cleaned Soma, who is preparer of great wealth or food. Wise men meditate on witnessing self-Atma present in their own heart spaces, who is the preparer of the great wealth, Atma-jnana. Vidyadhanam sarvadhanat pradhanam, and Atma-vidya is the most sublime vidya. Edamutyam dashakshibo, 15.8, last book in the Sukta. 10 movable ones and 7 intelligences purify this one, who is the possessor of good weapon and is best delighter of all. Organs of action and pranas and 5 sense organs. The mind and ego together prepare Soma, flowing essence of Atma, who has the weapon, namely spiritual light. He is the giver of bliss. We go to the next Suktam 16, from same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Prate Sodara Ponyo. O Soma, your extractors are making you flow as the essence of the two parents, Atma and great illusion. For the delight of the crusher of enemies, Indra, you rush along a horse let loose, like a horse let loose from the stables. Indra, the universal manifested self, gets his spiritual energy from Soma. Then he sets in motion the creation of the 5 forms of matter from the space to earth. Indra, the manifested self, or universal Jivatma, has no spiritual energy of his own, as he is a reflected image of Atma on ignorance mirror. Atmiya Soma, carrying quanta of spiritual energy, sets up infinite rays and dharas with respect to the space and time, thus providing the space-time coordinates for the creation of the universe. This is the implied meaning. 9.16.2 Kratva dakshasya rathyam O, we follow Soma, leader of strength and coverer of waters along with food, at daybreak in the interstices of the strainer with our intelligence. We see with our internal eyes, implied meaning, we see with our internal eyes Soma Atma enmeshed within the sea of ignorance at the dawning of spiritual knowledge. Anapadamapasadushtaram Somam, 9.16.3. O friends, make Soma, who is unattainable by ordinary men, is present in water streams and is difficult to be endured, flow in the strainer. Purify him for Indra for his drinking. Make Soma flow freely in the strainer, ignorance layer of ignorance cloud. This flowing essence of Atma bestows existence on Indra and the material universe through him, says the seer of the Sutta. Prapunanasya Chedasa. Soma, purified by the intellect, flows well in the strainer, ignorance cloud. Then with intelligence he sits down in his own abode. Purified, flowing essence of Atma, Soma, is seen to be sitting in his abode, which is heart space, as witnessing self with one's own internal eye. That is the implied meaning of the Rak. 16.5. Pratva namo Virindava. O Indra, the rejoicing drops of spiritual Soma approach you only with salutations for maintaining this great universe. Flowing essence of Atma Soma causes the flow of manifested objects pervading them as the moving witnessing self. Punano Rupe Avyaye 16.6. Soma being purified in a form, strainer, as though made of sheep's wool. This means ignorance cloud causes the flow of all material prosperity towards us and sits among the spiritual light rays like a hero. This has already been explained. 9.16.7 Divo nasānupipyushīdhārā sutasya vedhasa. The discharged glittering stream of the disposer, the extracted Soma, flows easily in the strainer, like water from the summit of the sky. The Soma is seen to flow easily in the mind of the seer of the Sutta. That is the implication. Last stroke in the Sutta. 9.16.8 Tvam Soma Vipaschidam Dana. O Soma, you protect or may grow a wise person among men. Purified by the offspring, you rush to the hair sieve, which looks like sheep's wool. The seer realizes that Atma only is getting enmeshed in the ignorance cloud. A beautiful suktam. Now we go to the next suktam, 17. Same Rishi, same Devata, and Chandas the same. Pramnimneneva sindhavo Nanto Vrutrani Purnaya. Drops of Atmiya Soma essence which are destroyers of enemies, which are active and quick moving, flow towards the containers like flowing water particles flow downwards to lower levels. This work and the next one, 9.17.2. Witnessing drops of Soma, witnessing Atma, drops of Soma, move to infinite diverse material forms continuously. They go through Indra or along with Jivatma. Quantum of spiritual energy move with the speed of mind as they are conceived of by the human minds. Next book is Abhi Subhanasa Indavo Prishtaya Prithivimiva. Extracted drops of Soma essence float towards Indra like the rain waters falling down towards the earth. Atmiya Soma stays at a higher level of abstraction than Indra, having no spiritual energy. This is the implication. 17.3 Atyurmir Matsaro Mada Soma Pavitre Arshidi. Atyurmir Matsaro Mada. Soma, overflowing, accelerating and inspiring, desiring shining beings or enlightened souls, flow in the strainer, ignorance cloud, destroying all demonic thoughts in the mind. Soma drops acting as impelling self or inner voice destroys all sinful thoughts which are products of ignorance present in the minds of truth seekers. 9.17.4 Agalaseshu dhavati pavitre parishichyate. Soma is stirred in the jars and is sprinkled in the strainer, ignorance cloud. Soma increases among yogis with knowledge sacrifices. Atmiya Soma essence residing in the cave of the heart is excited or agitated in the mind and sprinkled on the strainer, ignorance cloud. This Soma is praised in knowledge sacrifices. 9.17.5 Aditri Somarojana Rohanna Prajase Divam. O Soma, you illuminate the space as though climbing over the three birds. Favoring him, you animate the sun also. Him here stands for Indra. The three words would be Bhuvasva. Indra creates the sun in the space. Among the material worlds, the space is most abstract. Swaha. Abhivipra Anushata. 17.6 O Soma, the wise extractors of praises in the commencement of the knowledge sacrifice praise you, creating devotion among the spectators. Next look. Tamutva Madinam Naru. 17.7 O Soma, the wise leaders of men desiring protection purify the mighty you only with their intellects for distribution among enlightened souls. Last truth of the Sukta, 17.8 Madhordhara Manukshara. O Soma, may you cause that stream of sweet essence flow upon us, all pervading you. Stay in your own abode. Beloved, you are meant for drinking, for manifestation of nature or the universe. Soma is a part of Atma. Soma causes the manifestation of the universe. As birthless Atma cannot be its cause. Drops of Soma become witnessing self in bodies of living creatures, the perceivers. Suktam 18 Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Parisuvano Girishta Pavitre Somoksha 18.1 Soma, who stays in the Vedic speech, flows in the purifying strainer. O Soma, among the delighters you are upholder of all. Soma, flowing essence of Atma, described in Vedic hymns, flows in the woolly strainer or ignorance cloud. He is the cause of manifestation of all objects. Last part of the Rak is repeated. O Soma, part of the Rak is, O Soma, among the delighters you are the upholder of all. This part is going to be repeated in all Raks of the Sutta. 18.2 Tvam Viprastvam Kavir Madhu Prajadamandhasa. O Soma, you are wise like a sage. You give the sweet essence born from nourishing essence and food. Among delighters, you are the upholder of all. This is going to be repeated. Soma is both knower and knowledge. In the gross sense, he is nourishing essence and food. He gives existence and consciousness to all living organisms. He is the provider of food and drink to all living creatures. 18.3 Tava Vishve Sajoshaso Devasa Vijimashata. O Soma, all shining beings enjoying together equally desire to drink your essence. Last part is repeated. Enlightened souls enjoy the spiritual Soma, flowing essence of Atma. Ayo Vishwani Vadya Vasuni Hastayo Dathe. 18.4. He, means Soma, holds in his hands all desirable and admirable wealth. Next part is repetition. Desirable wealth can be material wealth, and admirable is spiritual energy for Atma Jnana. Ya ime rodasi mahi. 18.5. Soma, Atmiya Soma, nicely milks the great space and earth, who are like mothers to us. Next part is repetition. In this look and the next one, Soma, spiritual essence, causes manifestation of all material wealth in the universe and not birthless Atma. This is being stressed in these two looks. Pariyorodasi Ubhe, 18.6, which is the next one. Spiritual Soma moves towards both the space and earth at the same time with food and drink. Next part is repetition. Atmiya Soma bestows existence on all bodies made of matter and activate all living beings. 18.7, which is the last look in this sutta. Sashushmi kalasheshva punano atikradat madeshu sarvadhasi. That mighty one, on being purified, makes noise inside the containers. O Soma, among delighters, you are the upholder of all. Flowing essence of Atma Soma becomes witnessing self in living bodies, activating each one of them to produce sound characteristic to each of them. Suktam 19, same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Yat Somatitramukhyam Divyam Parthivam Vasu. 19.1. O Soma, being purified by us, please procure for us that wealth which is wonderful, is eulogized and is present with the space and earth. Here wealth implies essence of flowing Atma or quanta of spiritual light energy. Yuvam histha swarpadi. 19.2. O Soma, Indra and you stayed as protectors of Atma, as protectors of spiritual light rays and masters of all intellects. May you too abound. No comment may be necessary on this. We go to the next one. Vrusha Punana Ayushu. Soma, shower of happiness or essence of life in living beings, getting purified by us, stays in the place of sacrifice. Being a ray of spiritual light, he stays in his home. Flowing essence of Atma Soma is present in the place of sacrifice and in the abode of Atma. Atma pervades all, or all objects are superimposed on Atma. Atmiya Soma stays in Atma's abode, heart space of human beings. 19.4. Avavasantadhitayo. Intelligent men long for the seed of shower of essence of life, like the mothers desire their own darling sun's presence. The seed here implies the quanta or ray of spiritual light energy of Atma. Kuvid Prishanyantibhya Soma, getting purified, upholds offspring of the sky many times again and again for these showerers who yield pure water. Flowing essence of Atma fills up the cloud with water vapor again and again, year after year. Or he is the cause of manifestation of water in the universe. 19.6 Upashikshavatasthushu hiya samadhehi shatrushu. O purified or flowing Soma, may you kindle desire for learning in them who are staying away from knowledge. Give fear among our enemies, make us perceive wealth. Most appropriately, wealth here implies spiritual knowledge. 19.7 Nishatro Soma Vrishnyam Nishushmam Nivayastira. Last book in the Sutta. O Soma, may you restrain the might of the enemy who may be far away or close by, as also the courage and his life spirit. We go to the next Suktam 20. Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Prakavir Devavidaye Vyovare Bhirarshati. Wise soul of Soma flows well through the pores in the hairy sieves, which looks like sheep's wool for distribution among shining beings. He overcomes all malicious enemies. Soma, flowing essence of Atma, flowing through the pores of the woolly sieve like ignorance cloud, overpowers all imagined enemies, evil thoughts in the mind. 20.2 Sahishma Jaritrubhya. That very purified or flowing Soma infuses wealth by thousands, containing cows or rays of spiritual light or speeches for the praises. That Soma bestows material and spiritual wealth on the praisers. That is the implied meaning. 20.3 Parivishvani Chetasa. O Soma, you observe with your mind and with your intellect. You flow. May you win for us good renown. That Soma, acting as the witnessing self in all living creatures, moves from one living body to another. May he make the sacrificers famous. That is implied in the Rig. 20.4 Abhyarsha Bhrihat Yasho Maghavadbhyo Dhruvam Rayim. O Soma, please let flow great fame towards rich donors. May you procure that permanent desirable wealth for the praisers. Soma reveals self-knowledge or spiritual energy which is permanent and desirable wealth to the seers of Vedic Suktas and make them famous. 20.5 Tvam Rajeva Suprato Giras Soma Viveshitha. O carrier of Soma, carrier of material forms, wonderful Soma, getting purified by us, ruling well like a king, may you enter our speeches. Getting purified by knowledge sacrificers, may Atmiya Soma inspire the sacrificers to extract Vedic mantras. This is the implied meaning. 20.6 Savahnirapsu Dushtaro. That Soma, bearer of all living forms, becomes defective in waters, and on being purified by the hands, resides in the Soma vessels. Ray of Atma, spiritual light ray of Atma, Soma, acquiring flowing property of water, becomes defective spiritually. This flowing essence of Atma becomes moving, witnessing self in living creatures. Last stroke of the sutta. Krilur makhonam amhayu. O Soma, you are playful and also liberal. You go to the purifying strainer, giving good wealth associated with heroes for the praiser. The flowing essence of Atma, Soma, reveals self-knowledge to praisers. That is implication. We go to next sutta, Sutta 21. Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Etedha vandindavah Soma Indraya Krishvaya. These drops of 21.1. These drops of Atmiya Soma essence which are crushed are delight-giving and are knowers of Atma. They rush for Indra. This work and the next one. This extracted flowing essence of Atma Soma possesses the characteristics mentioned in these two ruks, 21.1 and 21.2. 21.2 is this. Pravrinvanto abhiyuja sushvaye varivo vida. They are extremely gratifying. Being united with them, they give admirable wealth to an extractor of essence. On their own, they make life period long for praisers. For an extractor of Atmiya Soma, he gives wealth of self-knowledge. Pritha Krilanta Indava, 21.3. These drops of Soma, playing effortlessly, flow over the waves or illusion of moving particles. Though illusion, he stays alone in his abode. These drops of Soma, implied meaning, these drops of Soma have the unreal flowing property of water. But the quanta of spiritual energy flowing along rays of spiritual light belongs to self, who stays in his abode, heart space of human beings, as witnessing self. This is the implied meaning. 21.4. Ede Vishwanivadya Pavamanasa Ashata. These purified or flowing drops of essences, like the seven entities placed in the body, procures all kinds of admirable wealth for men. These flowing streams of Soma are like the five sensory organs, mind and ego, in procuring wealth for mankind. 21.5. Asmin Pishangamindavo Dhata Venamadishe. O drops of Soma, may you uphold the tawny-colored one for giving to the praiser. This one brings the desirable wealth for the praiser. The tawny-colored one in this ruk symbolizes the self Atma. Soma upholds self-knowledge for giving to praisers. At the same time, he possesses unreal flowing property of water. 21.6 is Ribhurnaratyam Navam Dadhata. O Soma, like a skillful person, you uphold pleasurable, praiseworthy abode for exhibiting it to the praiser. Becoming resplendent, may you flow with the essence of water. Picking up the flowing property of water, quanta of spiritual energy flow out of the ignorance cloud as drops of Atmiya Bhavamana Soma. This is the implication of the rak. Last rak in the sutta, 21.7. Edavutye Avivashan these very drops of soma desire material forms or forms made of matter. These fast-moving drops activate the running ground. They excite the mind of honest men. Drops of flowing essence of Atma manifest the universe, which is the running ground. They excite the minds of truth seekers. Suktam 22, same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Ete somasa ashavu yatha iva pravadina. These drops of soma are quick like chariots, are brought forth like horses let loose from the stable. They neigh like horses. Drops of flowing essence of Atma are let loose from the stable, abode of the self. They make noise and all sounds are encompassed within Om. Ede Mata Ivo Reva 9.22.2. These drops of Sorma, moving freely like winds, are showers of water like rain cloud and roam around like Agni. Drops of Atmiya Soma generates air, water and Agni in the atmosphere. Ede Puta Vipaschita 22.3. These drops of Soma are pure, are wise and are mixed with a house. They reach our intellect with wisdom. House may mean abode or body of a living being. Soma drops bestows Atmajnana on truth seekers. They are pure since they are carriers of spiritual energy pulse. Ede Manushta Amatya 22.4. These drops of Soma are purified, are immortal and are flowing. Desiring to move in the path of the worlds, they never get tired. The drops of Atmiya Soma move about in the three worlds, gross, subtle and causal, or Bhuva, Bhuva, Sva. Ede Prashtha Nirodhaso 22.5. These drops of Soma moving on the backs of the space and earth reach everywhere. They also reach this excellent world of Atma. Soma pervades the material universe and also attain abode of the self. Tantum tanvanamuttamamanu pravada shata 22.6. The moving ones, namely drops of Atmiya Soma, eventually attain the most excellent Soma, who is continuity, hope, and is resounding. Also, he guards this excellent knowledge sacrifice. All drops of flowing essence of Atma attain that one, Bhaktras Atma. Soma is the protector of sacrifices, especially knowledge sacrifices. That is the implied meaning. 9.22.7, the last work. Tvam Soma Panidhya. O Soma, may you procure wealth consisting of cows from miserly traders. making this succession of sacrifices, you roared like thunder. Last suktam for the day. Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Soma asargramasavo. Soma asargramasavo mathormadasya dharaya. 23.1. The rapid moving drops of Soma are caused to flow towards all Vedic hymns with sweet, exhilarating stream of speeches. Drops of flowing essence of Atma, Soma, is being talked about in this hymn also. Anupratnasa Ashava Padam Nabiyu Akramu 23.2. Old, life-giving drops of Soma go after new homes. They generate the sun in the bright space. These life-giving drops move from an old body to a new one. They cause manifestation of the sun. Each drop of Atmiya Soma moving from old to new homes successively, in course of time, sets up one Somadhara. This is the implied meaning. 23.3. Apamanano bhararyo tadashusho vayam. O purified Soma, may you procure for us the house of a non-sacrificer who is our enemy and makes us possessors of offsprings and food. May Soma give a safe shelter of offsprings and food for sacrifices. Implied meaning is this. Abhisoma ayava pavante madhyam madam. 23.4. Life-giving drops of Soma flow towards exhilarating, pleasing essence and also towards the storehouse which is overflowing with sweetness. Implied meaning. Soma excites fine hymns in the minds of the praisers and also reveals the bliss associated with Brahman. Storehouse overflowing with sweetness implies abode of the self. Somo arshadi dharnasir gadhana indriyam dasam. 23.5. The great hero Soma, who is a protector from misfortunes, flows upholding the essence that is supporting the sense organs. Atmiya Soma only imparts a sense of life to sense organs for experiencing sense objects. 23.6. Indraya Soma Bhavase. O sparkling Soma, being a drinking companion for Indra, you flow for other shining beings also. You desire to give us wealth. Last verse of the Sutta. 23.7. Asya pitva madanam indro rutranya prati jaghana jaghanachanu. Indra killed the clouds of ignorance, drinking Atmiya Soma essence, which is the best of all delight-giving essences. May he continue to kill them. With this, we finish today's session. Viramastavat.